Alright, we're just about ready to throw in the spices. It's just about ready to come to a boil. We're getting close. So, here's the trick. Now, I learned this from my mama. My mama, I love her to death, she never cooked with measuring tools. So it was a pinch of this and a little bit of that, or if you like a little bit more, a little less, you know. So it was very frustrating to get the taste just right. So I'm going to do, and I do the same thing. It's the way I was taught. You put a little in, you taste it a little bit later, you add a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, and so, you know. And then that's the way it goes. But for the sake of experimentation, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of each ingredient and throw it in, and I'm going to see what it looks like, and then I'll tell you if we need to add some more. And then as your taste develop for this particular picadillo, you can increase or decrease certain spices to suit your own flavor needs. But we're going to go with a benchmark of 1 teaspoon of each ingredient, and then we'll see where we stand. So first ingredient is cumin. Cumin is a nice Mexican-y spicy. Get you going there. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of oregano, black pepper, and celery seed. Sea salt. You can use regular salt if you like it, or low salt, or whatever you want. Okay, we're going to put the seasonings in it. Okay, we put all the ingredients. We put cumin. This is paprika, black pepper, and sea salt, 1 teaspoon each, and oregano. However, I can tell you right now that it's got to take at least 2 or a tablespoon or more of oregano. Oregano brings out that real rich flavor. It's really good. And then we're going to mix it all up and let it simmer for about 15 minutes before we add the carrots. This is the basic ingredients to make the taste, the flavor, and the smell of the picadillo. After that, anything else goes. Throw in the kitchen sink. It doesn't matter. Okay? Okay. You get the idea here on the rumble? Slow cooking. This is the way it should be looking. Just like that. Just let it hang out there for about, smelling good. Okay, let that kind of rumble there for about 15 minutes, and then we'll throw the carrots in and give them a head start on the rest of the vegetables. But that's getting pretty close to finishing up this deal. Good. All right, I gave it a taste test. And I determined that you probably need to go with at least a teaspoon and a half, or maybe even maybe 2 teaspoons of each ingredient, and add more oregano. And it tastes pretty good. So now we're going to put the carrots in and let them get a head start about 15 minutes, and then we'll throw the potatoes in. Okay, time for the potatoes. Add them on in, go on in, go in the crowd. Now, each time you add a batch of vegetables, depending upon how many vegetables you put in, you just got to make sure you got enough soup covering all the vegetables so they'll cook. We still got ample amount of juice. So we're going to let that now cook about 15 minutes, and then we'll just throw in the can of corn and the can of string beans and let it hang out and absorb flavors, and we'll be done in a minute. Okay, everything's been simmering for a while, getting all nice and soft and mellowing out in the pot. The only thing we're going to do left now is we're just going to take a can of string beans, fluid and all, and just dump them in there. There you go. We're going to take our corn, can of corn, add that to the mix. That's all the ingredients. That's all there is to it. And we're just going to mix them all up. Let it simmer for a little bit more. Get the flavors going. Then what we're going to do is, when it looks like the potatoes are done, close to being done, because the carrots will be done, the other things are all done, gave it a taste test, and it seemed to be okay. So now that that's going to hang out there, we're going to let it simmer for about another 5-10 minutes. Then we're going to put the lid on it, turn the fire off, and let it hang out for the afternoon until it gets nice and cool. Okay? Once that happens, like in most stews and soups and stuff, it's really better the second day. So we're going to let it hang out today, let it cool off. We're going to put it in the refrigerator, and we're going to eat it tomorrow when it's nice and good. Either eat it with crackers or tortillas or bread or whatever you want, or just eat it a la carte. It's a full meal on itself. It smells great. It tastes great. It's yummy. Okay, hope you enjoy it. Bon appetit.